Hi, everybody, and welcome to this wonderful Magic Club hangout. I am joined with magical Melitza and lovely Lori. Those are not just their email addresses; those are also adjectives that describe these wonderful women. Um, and we're here to talk about magic. We've started the Magic Club, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. And we wanted to give you a chance to still jump on, and also we're just having so much fun playing in the Magic. We're like, let's just do another free call so everybody can play in Magic more. So that's what this is about. So hi, Melitza and Lori.
Hi, Julie.
Hello.
So
Hi, Julie.
before we came on today, Julie was telling me about since she's got to Vancouver, she's been pulling magic uh, out of her butt like
Pulling a
crazy.
lot of magic. I'm in a place that makes me really happy. Here, I'll show you guys my view. I'm like really happy all the time here, and so all of these amazing things are being created. So I'm slipping on my carpet. They shampooed my carpets. So today I went and bought a try to get good lighting. Today I went and bought a sculpture collection that I found off of Craigslist. So you'll see that I'm accompanied by my new friend. I have a new man in my life. His name's Neptune, the Greek god. Um, I went to the sculpture. I've been like loving Craigslist. It's just been pulling me in. Because I kept pulling energy to like have a really beautiful house and have really funny things and be really eccentric. So I was doing that, and Craigslist has been so much fun. I've gone to pretty much every area of town since I've been here, buying different things. I got a phone and I got this amazing couch. So, anyways, today was was sculpture day. So I go to this mansion in North Vancouver. And this man sells me this entire sculpture collection for $50. I got 10. It was $5 a piece, and he's like, "Pick whatever you want." And there was about 20 pieces, so I picked 10. And so it's gonna be like this little Greek oasis. So, but it was literally from pulling energy and using all of the tools that we have used in the Magic Club. So, go out and find some sculptures and things.
So what you forgot to tell them was how much you actually generated today with your $5 investment, your $50
Well,
investment.
Neptune has a price tag on him that says $400. Wait, you can't see the price tag. See, there's the price tag.
Yeah,
I got it for 5.
doesn't get any better than that.
Wow. That's
So
So
cool.
anyway, that's my sculpture story. So everything that, let's do some clearings on this. Everything that doesn't allow you to ease into the energies of a phenomenal life, will you destroy and uncreate it all, times a godzillion.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9 pot and pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And what big choice would you have to make that you absolutely fucking refuse to make, that if you made it, would allow everything to actually be ease-filled in your life? And everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive that choice, and possibly make it, will you destroy and uncreate it all, times a godzillion.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9 pod, pock, shorts, boys, meons. Yeah, I moved to Vancouver, which I've been avoiding doing for years, and as soon as I made that big choice and bit the bullet, it's like I'm glowing and filled with magic every single day because I'm actually where I want to be, and it's easy to create and generate because I'm totally committed to where I am in life right now. So anywhere it's like you can't do clearing statements on committing to your life, you know? You have to just commit to your life. But what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to commit to you for all eternity with total ease? And everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion, would destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Yeah, right, wrong, good, bad, all 9 pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So that was my fun of the day. It's like there's just so much possible out there in the world when we're willing to engage and pull it towards us.
it's like committing to luxury, right? I heard Curry Glissell talk about luxury one day, and she was saying that it was like she was, I think, in Houston. There was like massive traffic, and she could have either taken a cab, which would be like, fun and whatever. It's a cab, or
Mhm.
she could go on the subway, which she usually would never do. And what was actually for her more elegant and luxurious that day was to get on the subway and get across town in half an hour instead of sitting in traffic for 5 hours. So it's not always that like luxury is going to look like a limousine that's, because that limousine could be sitting in traffic and super inconvenient. Like luxury is where there's that ease of living, right?
Totally. That's
So
really
there's magic in luxury for sure.
that's really beautiful. Lori, what have you noticed since you've been pulling energy?
Well, it's funny because I had talked about a ring that I had gotten just recently from my hubby, and
Bluff.
a couple of diamonds had fallen out of it, and so I took it back to the store one day last week, and they wanted me, of course, they wanted to keep my business, right? So they wanted to do whatever they could to make me happy. So yesterday, finally, they said, we have another ring we'd like to show you, because I didn't want the same one again, because I'd already tried the same ring twice and both times diamonds fell out of it. So I was like, without going to conclusion, because I kept wanting to, well, I guess that means I just don't get the ring anymore. When I went to the store yesterday, there was another ring that actually, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's
Nice.
got a lot, yeah, it's got a lot more. I don't know, it's like it up leveled the other one. And so what was interesting is that it actually, the value of it is worth more. And they were going to give me 25% off it. And the other ring was 20% off. So the difference, I said, well, if you guys give me 25% off this one, I'll get a pair of earrings or something. Well, I ended up getting a bracelet for $300, basically for free. So I got a new ring and I got the bracelet basically for the same price and had a lovely experience. And when I told my girlfriend about it, she goes, "Do you get, Lori? That doesn't happen to most people."
Right.
so, so yeah, so it was sort of really looking at that and going, how much more my receiving must be expanding to be able to receive this. I was willing to ask for it, because she was just going to go. She'd initially said 25%, and then she found out the other ring was 20%, so she was just going to give me 20 and 20. And I asked, well, if you give me 25, I'll get something else. And then they were willing to give that to me to make me a happy customer. So I wouldn't have chose that before, I would
No,
have just settled, right?
that's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I was thinking it would actually be fun. One of the parts of the energy of the Magic Club is pulling energy. I mean, I guess we're sort of assuming that everybody knows that. I guess we could explain that to everyone. But it's about but to everybody on the call, it's about like a huge component of the Magic Club is learning how to build the muscle of pulling energy, because in every interaction that you have with someone or with the world around you, there's different energy flows. So what most people do is they are pushing energy. We're taught to push and use force to get things done energetically. And when you actually reverse that force and start to pull energy and pull things towards you, you get wonderful men in your life like Neptune.
Yeah, right.
No, but it's like we're taught to like go out and get everything and
Yeah.
rather than actually have the kindness and the softness and the gentleness of pulling energy towards you, of pulling your life towards you. I said on the first Magic Club call, the mantra of access consciousness is all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And the most important part of that to me is it comes to you. It comes to you with ease and joy and glory. You don't have to force it into existence. You don't have to go out and get it. You actually can pull it into you. So that's kind of the magic of pulling energy. And it's a muscle. It's a muscle that you build over time, and that's why we're working on this for 12 months, is so that you can build that muscle as strong as it possibly can be. So, yeah.
That's what I like about it. It's for me, that like 12 months of choosing this is really fun to me, because so many other places it's like, yeah, we're going to do our 3 calls and there you go, off you go. And if I did, like, say, for example, if I took 3 swimming lessons, I'd kind of be like, well, you can kind of float. Have fun with that. You're not going to be in the Olympics, but I'd like to be in the Olympics of energy pulls.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. We need to do something with that. Let's have the energy pull Olympics.
I like it.
I think you're Lord right now. You're in the lead with your ring. Me and Neptune are behind. What else is possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's cool. Let's do something with that, the energy pull Olympics. But it really is a muscle, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's a really different way of living in the world. And the cool thing about it is that you really have to start trusting yourself, because it's not going to show up in the way that you think it's going to show up. I pull energy from different people, and then magical things show up in roundabout ways, not necessarily directed with those people, but I know the fact that I pulled energy from those people created something. So it's really about, like, asking the question, what do I truly desire in life, and pulling energy into that so that you can actually create more. So it's a really different way of living, and if you take Foundation Level 1 in Access, there's a short section on it, and it's my favorite part of Foundation Level 1, but I've always wanted to explore it more, and it's created some of the most incredible things in my life, and just this, the commitment is just the things it's creating. It's beyond, like, you know, rings and Greek sculptures. It's about who you become in the world, and the way that what you can create with people, like the magic that you can create with other people. Because when you're pushing energetically all the time, you're pushing people away from you, and you can't have that sense of connection with people. Pardon me. And when you're pulling, it's like people are drawn to you. They want to know who you are. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know what's going on in your life. And I was just listening to a call with Gary Douglas, a class I did, Pragmatic Psychology, in Chicago. And he said, when you're willing to pull people towards you, you have so many people wanting to spend time with you all the time that you can't even get away from it, and you actually have to start making choices about the people you actually want to spend time with, because you have so many options. Because there's really a kindness in pulling. Pushing energy is really kind of a great unkindness, but it's just something that we're entrained to do, and it can take a little while to reverse that entrainment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like how you describe it, Julia, as a muscle a lot. Like, that's to me, it's a really cool description. Like, when you're saying the energy pools are like that muscle that you start to work with. To me, it's like if a bodybuilder is standing there and you can see their ripped muscles, you know they've trained. And like when somebody has trained with energy pools, when you're around them, there's something about it. You just know that person pulls energy like crazy. Like it's just something you're aware of. It's just really cool that it's kind of like looking at a bodybuilder's muscles. It's like, that person pulls energy. Look at that. Like, wow.
Totally. Whenever, as soon as you said that, Dr. Dane came to mind. Like, you can know when he is coming within a 500 feet radius, because you can feel him, because he is so used to pulling energy from every single person around him that you know where he is and when he's coming. Everybody wants a piece of him. And Are you willing to be that demanded as well? A lot of the reason that people are not creating, are not pulling, and are not creating the things they'd actually like to have in life is because they're not willing to be that demanded. Because then you feel as though you're in service to other people. So everywhere you are in service to others, rather than of service to others, will you destroy and uncreate all of that times a godzillion.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. I just finished Benevolent Capitalism with Shutissa Bowman and Steve Bowman and Gary Douglas, and it was a 4-day class where we talked about everything from risk and strategic management to kindness and warmth in business. And one of the things that we talked about is the difference between being in service and being of service. And when you are in service to others, you are always taking care of them, always looking to see what their needs are so that you can fulfill them, always trying to help them rather than empower them, those sorts of energies. And when you are of service, you're actually sitting back, pulling, and going, this is who I am, this is my world, this is my reality, and I am here of service to contribute to you everything that you're willing to receive. And so in business and in life, you want to be of service. It's sort of like we talk about in Access allowance, is like being the rock in the stream and letting everything go around you with no point of view about it. I sort of think of being of service the same way. It's like, I am absolutely here to give to you anything that you require, but I'm not going to take care of you. I'm not going to give you more than you are willing to receive. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be of service with total ease? And everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all.
Yes.
Good, bad, pod, poc, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah.
You know,
go ahead.
Oh, thanks for saying that. That really helps me understand something, because I've been looking at that whole idea of, wanting to create my life more and to sort of have that why, and being in service feels like a doing, whereas being of service feels like a being. And yeah,
being in service is pushing, and being of service is pulling. That's where I want to
Julia, yeah, so Julia, could you because it's almost like I can hear people say, and there's even a question in my world, like, what is pulling energy then? What is that?
That's a great question. Pulling energy is, well, in life, there's energy all around us, and we actually control that energy by our thoughts, by our feelings, by what our parents did, by what our parents energetically taught us. So much of what we were taught as kids was absolutely not vocal. It was not about learning English. It was not about learning how to eat properly. It was about learning how to be in the world. And all of that is energetic. Like, none of it, very, very little, was verbal. And there's statistics on that, about how 90% of, it's not 90% of what you say is not what you say, not the words. 90% of it is actually the energy behind it. Or they say it's how you say it, something like that. But really, they're just saying it's energy. So it's like when the way that you're taught to be is to go out and get everything. So the way that you actually learn to change that and to pull energy is, we start with the energy pull exercise. And let's go through it right now. Let's do the energy pull exercise. And I was saying on the first call, and everybody was laughing, because there was these women who came to one of my classes, and I was teaching them to pull energy, and they closed their eyes and they were going like this, and they were trying to physically pull the energy. And I was like, you don't have to do that. You just pull. You be you. And you can feel, like, really, it's probably, if you close your eyes, okay, well, let's do it right now. Everybody close their eyes. And picture the space that's just outside of your skin. That's energy. It's like almost where you can feel where the hairs would be. The hairs are, the little prickles. There's energy beyond that. And your energy may be pushing out, or some people are already very naturally good at pulling. So what you want to do is, it's not even picturing it, it's just choosing to be it. So begin to pull energy. It's just the choice to do it means that you're doing it. So don't think you can do it wrong, because I'm not going to say, picture it. You don't even have to picture it. You just choose it. So pull energy through the whole universe, through your body, and through the back of you. Oh, it was cool. The breeze just came in the front and then went around the back of me. Pull through the whole universe, through the front of you, and let it go out the back of you and just flood out behind you. And just by asking, you're already doing it. You don't even have to picture it. You don't have to say anything. It's so incredibly subtle that there is no doing involved. So pull through the whole body, and it becomes like a river of light almost. If you were to picture it, it would be like this big river of energy flowing through you. And you keep pulling until you can feel your heart open up, because that means that you're open and you're vulnerable and you're actually willing to receive. So keep pulling and just put all of your barriers down. And all of your barriers, will you destroy and uncreate them all times a godzillion.
Mm-hmm.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9 pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And just pull. All right, you can open your eyes. So it is really about learning to receive as well, because we're so taught in this world to give and give and give and give, to prove that we're a good person, to prove that we're kind, so that we know that we're doing the right thing. And that's a lot of pushing too. And that doesn't mean you can still pull while you gift to people. It's just a totally different way of functioning. So what stupidity are you using to negate and avoid the receiving you could be choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Mm-hmm.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9 pod, poc. Wow, I think we need to do that again, because I couldn't even do the freaking clearing statement. Right, wrong, good, bad, all 9 pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So what stupidity are you using to negate and refuse the receiving you could be choosing?
Wow.
Yeah. Good, bad, all 9 pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. I could just feel everyone closing up. So what stupidity are you using to negate, avoid, and refuse the receiving you could be choosing? And everything that is times a godzillion, will y'all destroy and uncreate it all?
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyonds. And for any of you listening to this who aren't familiar with Access Consciousness or the clearing statement, just go to accessconsciousness.com, and it's all explained very well right there. Or you can send me a Facebook message, and I will explain it to you. I will phone you personally and explain it to you.
So Julia,
yeah,
with the energy pull, like, that didn't really feel like we were doing something. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just, okay, we're sitting here and we're inviting this energy. Like, how does that create magic in our lives? And I mean, it's sort of a two-part question. Number one, for someone who's new, I get that question, and I have that question. It's almost like it's too simple. The other thing is like, I have heard the energy exercise, and often we put things in front of us and then bring that energy. So like the abundance, and so have that, the energy to flow through that, or a fun job, or whatever that is. So I kind of two questions, like, that was interesting to just have it be the energy, and so how is that going to change or create or add more to my life?
Right. I actually did that on purpose. um, because it's different than the way we do it on the exercise that I've sent out to the Magic Club. But the way that we just did it, without putting an energy ball in, is actually just a way to strictly build that muscle, and to just when you don't have an intention, you're just pulling things into any area. It could be anything. And with the energy ball, so what we do, for those of you who haven't done the energy pulls before, what you can do is you can get the energy of the life that you'd really like to have. So that would be like, I really like nautical magic. I really like boats and the ocean and things like that. Or I really would like to make $100,000 or more per year. And don't just say 100,000 because you'll limit it. Always ask for that or greater. I'd like to travel, twice a month. I would really like to find somebody to have a relationship with that I really, really care about. So you can take like different elements and get the energy of that. You can write them down even, and get the energy of that. And then once you have the energy of that, put that energy in the ball. So it's like when you write the things down, it's like they bring a certain energy into your life. I won't even say they make you feel a certain way. It's more about there's a certain energy in your life. And it's like, it's not the $100,000 a year that most people are looking for. It's the energy of freedom and abundance that they think that $100,000 a year will give them. So when you put those things into the ball, or don't put those things, actually put the underlying energies in the ball and pull energy to that. It's sort of like feeding a growing baby. It's like you're giving it food. Energy is food. So when you pull energy into the things that you'd like to have in your life, or the energy behind it, you're actually giving that food. I mean, for years, I pulled energy. I wanted to live in a certain place. I wanted to live on the ocean, and I wanted there to be lots of yachts and sailboats. And last week, I moved to the ocean with lots of yachts and sailboats. So I've been working on that one for a little while, you know what I mean? But I didn't have to do anything. It's like when the time came, they called me for the apartment. I didn't call them. I just put my name on a waiting list, and they approved me. There was like 10 people in line, and they just gave me the apartment because I'd been pulling energy, and I'd been feeding that for a long, long time. So it's like, what can you guys feed that you have been starving? And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, meows. So I think that was part 2 of your question, Lori. What was part 1?
Well, the simplicity of the first part, and it's almost like I could tap more into the energy of it, but I just found that is such an invitation. Like, it almost really gets my head out of it. It's like asking to receive all the time.
So you're saying, like,
but I could just,
the way that we did it just now, that we, like, rather than having the energy ball?
Right, like when you did it the first time, just on the hangout here, and all you did is have the energy, come from the universe through us and out the back, there was something that was like, wow, well, that's really kind of simple. Doesn't really seem like we're doing anything. How is that going to create the life I desire?
Right. So I guess my answer to that would be it's feeding. It's feeding something in a way that's way easier than you ever want it to be.
And building that muscle, like you were saying.
And building that muscle. Yeah. And I think for you personally, Lori, maybe because you've done the energy pull exercise with the ball so many times, it's like for you, switching to the simplicity of that actually might be a lot more creative and potent, because there's not as much like, how do I have to do this? What do I have to put in the ball? Am I doing this right? It's like just purely pulling.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Thanks for those questions. That is really good discussion topics for everyone. Yeah. Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
Miss Julia, you know you've
Yeah.
been live for over half an hour?
Oh, does that mean that it stopped recording?
No, but I'm just letting you know. Just
Okay,
because you're like, half
awesome.
an hour is good. I'm like, darling, I know you. You always go more than half an hour.
I know on the first call I went like an hour. I looked at on the first call we started and I was like I looked up at the clock. I thought, oh, we're probably like 10 minutes in. We were 52 minutes in. I was like, oh. But it's just it's a subject that I'm so excited about because it's created so much for me, and I know how much it can create for you, and it's continuing to create for me every single day, in the strangest, most magical ways. So just be willing to pull and to receive everything that comes when you do pull. 'Cause it's a really different life. It's a really easy, beautiful life.
So Julia, I hear like I'm like energetically hearing questions from people who do stuff like the law of attraction. Or like, well, don't you want to have just the good stuff show up and don't you want to just do your positive thing? Like, so can you speak a little bit to the people who this whole concept of pulling energy to it's not negative or positive and it's just that you're pulling energy and we're not just like excluding any of the energies in that?
Yeah. Um, so all of that is based on judgment, as though there could be good or bad energy. Because in life, things are only good or bad based on what we've decided about them, based on what we've been taught. So energy isn't good or bad. So when you're only trying to pull in good energy, you're actually negating and ignoring tons of receiving in your life. Tons and tons of receiving. I mean, one of the main things that we clear in a lot of classes, of the classes that I facilitate, is what you have decided is good. It's easier for people to let go of what they've decided is bad rather than what they've decided is good. Because once they've decided they're right about something, they want to hold on to it because it's what's right. I mean, it's like, this is the one thing I've got figured out. Like, do you really want me to get rid of it? That's sort of where people function from. So it's like, with the law of attraction, this is the law of attraction in a different way, in a softer and more powerful way. I remember when I first watched The Secret, I judged myself for about 2 weeks after because I wasn't having the things show up, because in the movie they told me that they were supposed to show up. But when you actually picture things rather than just choose to change your energy and choose to change the flows and build that muscle, it's so much more powerful than picturing things in your head. And when we picture things in our head, we've actually already manifested them in our heads, and so we can't manifest them in the real world. They've already been manifest. So by pulling energy, I mean, if I said, okay, so I came here and I'm looking for cool decor to make a really eccentric home. So if I would have gone, okay, so what's cool decor for a really eccentric home? I probably would have had to gone, and I would have pictured it. I probably would have had, like, I wouldn't have gotten Neptune. That's all I can